Welcome back to another Bourbon Santa video. 2022. Whew, am I right? I mean, good grief, what a year. So, this video is going to be... So, my biggest disappointments of 2022, there's 4 of them. There's kind of 5, but I don't really want to go into the 5th one. Sipping on this year's winner, the J. Henry. That's just dumb. Dumb. Disappointment number 1. We're going to go with this one first. Remus Repeal 6. This is a weird cat. Okay, so it's younger than 5 was. And when you taste them separately, this one is disappointing. Very disappointing. And there's a really weird phenomenon that when you taste the different Remus batches, and I did a review 1 through 6, it's on my channel, you can go look at it. I did 1 through 6, and I did them blind. And when you do that, an interesting thing happens. When you're tasting the other Remus Repeal products, this performs really well. I can't explain why. Because when you taste it on its own, it's just... It's not as good as 5. Like if you taste 5 on its own, and then later taste this, 5 wins every time for me. But if I do them back to back, this one performs really well. And it's so weird. I don't understand that phenomena or why that's happening. It's just the perception of going from one to the next, and then it performs. On its own, it does not perform well. It's just a disappointment. It didn't build upon the success of how amazing 5 was. I bought so many bottles of 5. I still have extra bottles of 5. This one, I literally bought 2, and 1 I'm giving away. So, and this one I'm chopping up for Patreon. It's just a disappointment. Just, not every release can be a home run. It's fine. It's fine. This year's was just not it. Okay, next up, Midwinter Night's Dram Encore. Now this is the white port finished version of Midwinter Night's Dram. This bottle is way too expensive for what it is. I have a double rye finished in white port store pick single barrel that blows this away. Blows it away. Look at my review down on my channel. I reviewed this, compared it to that, and the $50 double rye beats this with no trouble. And this is almost a $200 Utah-only release. So, horrendous disappointment that they even did this in the first place and cut into the amount of midwinters that was available for batch 10. And then it's just not a great product. It's just not good. It's just not good. All right. My third biggest disappointment of last year was Jack Daniel's 10-year. This is the first age-stated Jack Daniel's in like 100 years. And they put out a 10-year-old Jack whiskey that they haven't done an age state in 100 years, and they put it out at 97 proof. Put it out at 100 proof just for the alliteration of it. 10 years, 100 proof, 100 years, we haven't done an age state. Whoever made that decision, fire them. Fire them. The whiskey. Is the whiskey good? It's okay. I had one, and I chopped most of it up for Patreon. And I have another one, this one. I had one open, is what I meant to say. I chopped it up for Patreon, and then I used the last 4 or 5 ounces to blend other stuff with. And I blended it with like Cast Strength, BP, Jack, and I made it into something way, way better than what this is. So they could have done better. This is just a miss. It's cool. It's awesome that it says 10 years on it. It's cool to have in the collection, but it's just disappointing. It's not that good. I'd rather have a BP Jack any day of the week. Honestly, I'd rather have the Bonded. I'd rather have the Bonded than this. And, I know the Bonded is famously won first place on some other people's lists. It's not that good. And this is worse. Come on. All right, so the last thing on my biggest, and this is the biggest disappointment, because of the amount of anticipation that I had for this whiskey coming. And that's the Smoke Wagon Rye products. Not just this one. This is the Bonded. Not just this one. The malted, the experimentals, all of them. All of them. I get it. This is what Aaron wanted to put out. He contract distilled this mash bill. The experimentals he just bought. But he had them contract distill this specific mash bill for his taste. His taste and my taste in rye don't match. Not at all. Not even a little bit. I chopped this entire bottle up for Patreon. Got rid of it. I reviewed it. Drank it 3 or 4 times. Hated every drop of it. I hated the malted rye. I hated all the experimental samples that I got. It just fell absolutely flat for me, and I was so excited for this to come out. And to me, this was just, I know he doesn't agree with me from social media, as he's said very clearly when I've expressed my opinion on this. But to me, it was a total miss. For my personal taste, I don't like it. Other people love it. That's fine. You guys can love it all you want. But that was my 4 biggest disappointments of 2022. And this bottle's getting chopped up for Patreon. This bottle's getting chopped up for Patreon. This one's staying in the collection for a little while until I decide what to do with it. I thought about just getting rid of it on secondary. And, because times is tough and whatnot. But I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it. So it's just going to sit down here with the rest of my unopened bottles for now until I decide. But, yeah. So thanks for watching. That was the 2022 year in review. All of my greatest and most disappointing whiskeys. I hope that 2023 is absolutely amazing for you. And let's have some fun, man. Let's drink some whiskey. Let's explore some shit. Until next time, I hope you have a great day.